So we're going to talk a little bit about the UFC, the fact that UFC has launched their product over the weekend and hit a little bumps on the road and how they recovered. But I definitely want you guys to check out this clip because it's pretty sick. Like their announcement.
It's time! Francis Ngannou has arrived! Your legacy starts now. Gone! Own the moment! Own the glory with UFC Strike! Official UFC NFTs dropping January 23rd.
First thing I want to say, shout out to the guy who did the VO on that one. You got real close to sounding authentic. But look, the UFC Strike launches on Sunday, and to their credit, 100,000 packs sold in just under 4 hours. And honestly, the only reason that it probably took that long is because there was a queue system in place. But outside of that, man, they really rocked it. The community seems to really appreciate how smoothly that went. And look, this is just another like huge release for Dapper Labs and the Flow ecosystem. And what they're bringing to the table is these massive brands. I mean, these are brands that, permeate the daily conversation for a lot of people, right? So, leaning into the UFC event that happened on Saturday night, here you have the pack, opening animation was really freaking cool. But yeah, so like they launched on Sunday, they sold out 100,000 packs. That's actually the first part of this drop. The second part is next Monday. So you guys are going to want to make sure that you're tuning in. And then the second half of the story is actually that there was a little bit of a hiccup. They came out and UFC Strike did say that there was an issue with the way the packs were minted. And unfortunately, there was some of the championship tier moments that did not get distributed as they properly. So what did they do? They're actually going to give everyone who bought a pack $50 refund and credit back. So essentially they're giving away the, $2 million, whatever they just made. And then they're also going to make sure that if you did not get a championship drop, you're going to get a random pull from one of the moments that's left over. There's, I think, 360 something championship moments that are going to be distributed over the next week. If you did hit a championship moment, then you're going to get a free card from the contender pool. So when you look at like, how do you make oops, how do you make it right with the community? Like, I think Dapper knocks this one out of the park. You get your money back and you get another shot at getting a championship tier moment, which some of these things are I mean, what they sell for is not a little bit of money. So, shout out to Dapper and Flow and what they're doing there.
Yeah, 100%. And I actually want to go into a moment specifically. So you kind of showed the unboxing or the unwrapping moment. We actually have a highlight there of the actual moment, which, a lot of us got into NFTs, not us, because we were messing around with wax and things like this and crypto kitties, but you talk to a lot of people, they got their NFT start through NBA Top Shot. And so now you're kind of in comparison mode of like, how does this stand up to NBA Top Shot? I actually like UFC moments way better. There's a lot more like fanfare around knockouts than hitting a 3-pointer and things like this. So we'll go into what these moments actually look like and then we'll come out of it.
The audio is so good too.
Barnett has to stop backing up. He's pushing John Vellante back with some combinations, and then he lets John Vellante back into the fight. Oh my goodness! Vellante down, covering up.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my God!
Oh man!
Chris Barnett trying to close out his first UFC win.
Oh my goodness!
Barnett!
The flip, dude.
Yeah, there's just something
That's
about
so hype.
There's just something about seeing somebody get knocked out. I mean, we're still old days gladiator style, line them up, man.
There's something about seeing a dude that big throw a roundhouse kick to somebody's face and then do a flip to celebrate.
Yeah.
These moments are dope, man. And this is one of those things where when you talk about what like naturally comes from collectors, it's like the fact that like we just love whatever it is that we're collecting, right? Like, so like baseball cards collectors, they love their baseball players, they love their teams, right? In this case, it's like if you love a fighter, you're really in their corner, like you want these knockouts, you want to show like when he knocked out Nick Diaz or whatever, right? So really powerful moments.
Dapper, look at me in the eyes. Roham, right now. We love your product. We love everything about it. Please, the supply issue. Just make sure that these aren't having like runaway supply when it comes to actually collecting these things. That was the problem with NBA Top Shot, in my opinion. Really cool moments. There was like millions of these moments, and you couldn't actually, as an investor, ever kind of get your head around what was, from, and I'm if you want to get down the rabbit hole, I'm sure as an investor you could find out which was valuable, which wasn't. But as a casual investor or an entertainer, you want to be, knowledgeable on what's actually valuable. So it's tough when the supply is that much. So please just keep the supply a little bit lower. I get the idea is to bring in people outside the NFT space, but do a solid for us, please. Please keep these low.
I think that, yeah, and I think that with Top Shot, it was one of those where, and if you actually look at history of collectibles, this happened in the 80s with Tops, where they become so popular that they over mint, right, to try to like compensate. And then what ends up happening is they flood the market, and then nobody cares because like there's not,
which is exactly what happened.
Value, 100%. Nobody cares about, or nobody cared about Top Shot, right? As like that 6-month period after this whole thing blew up. I do think that they're doing a little bit better coming into this season and going into 2022. But for me, what I think is the big thing here is that they launched on Sunday, right? It didn't go through the same beta period that Top Shot went through. It didn't go through a testing phase of a month or two like they did with the Susables app that they have. They went straight to a launch, right? Which is, it takes a lot of cojones to just say we're going to open up the floodgates and we're going to try to sell 100,000 packs of NFTs and do it in a way that doesn't totally like murder the experience. And to their credit, I think that it went really well. So yeah, shout out to Dapper, and they're just, it's one huge brand after another. Like it's like what comes next, right? We saw NFL shops get opened up and start dropping some things as we kind of build the momentum towards NFL moments. But yeah, very cool platform, and I love what they're doing. Oh, we didn't even talk about this. And yeah, so Francis was wearing his UFC championship tier moment for the weigh-in, for the pre-interview, all weekend. He was rocking that bad boy every moment he could, and the reaction is awesome. It's cool. This is another way of flexing that NFT, right? Showing people what you got. So, I think Dapper, one of the things they do really well is make sure that marketing is on point, and the partnership with UFC. They had Dana White make a comment about it on Friday. You have, Ngannou. Did I say that right?
Yeah, you got it.
Flexing his moment, as he's flexing on stage for the weigh-in. So making sure that people know about the product is something that I think Dapper does better than just about anybody. Like the marketing and making sure people are aware is really difficult. So